Okay. So we have seen about what is control flow and what is data flow. No? Now let me go for parameter section. Okay. So in this parameter section, so if you want to pass parameters to your SSIS packages, okay. So if you want, okay, if you want to pass parameters to your SSIS packages, okay. So let us say, let me create some, okay, let me create some new package, and let us say this as parameters, okay. So just to give some name, okay, params package, okay. Now I want to create a table, okay. So or let me create a table, okay. And later I want to insert the values, okay. But here when I'm inserting the data, I don't want to give manual values, okay. I don't want to give some hard coded values, okay. So let me create a table first, okay. And in which database, let me go for db underscore abhishek. So let me create a table, okay. So table underscore params, okay. Okay, I have created a table with three columns, okay. Employee, name and salary, okay. Now next thing is I want to insert the data, okay. So after creating the table, I want to go and insert the data, okay. Now when I'm inserting the data, okay, when I'm inserting the data, so let us say Abhishek, okay. Now let us say inserting the data. Now I just want to write, I will write a insert command, okay. Insert into table underscore params, okay. Okay, values, okay. Here I will go and write, so I don't want to hard code the values, okay. So I will provide the values, okay. In this case, what, let me go and write some question mark comma question mark comma question mark, okay. Let me explain. So here I don't want to hard code the values, so I want to pass the values from the parameter section, okay. So I will create some parameters and I will assign some values to the parameters in this section. Now in this table we have, so in this table we have three columns, no, employee ID, employee name and salary, no. So I will create three parameters here, okay. So let us say one for parameter or p underscore employee ID, one is for employee ID parameter, okay. Okay, so let us go and say I will pass some value as, let us say something like 23 employee ID, and let us say some employee ID name. So let us say p underscore emp name, okay. And it is of data type, it is not integer, it is a string value, no. So you can go and select the data type as string, okay. And you can pass any value, okay. Let me pass Krishna, and I want to pass one more value, let us say parameter salary, okay. So if you want to pass, okay, if you want to pass the values through parameters, you can go and declare like this, okay. Now you can see I have created three parameters, and whatever the values present in this, I'm giving to these parameters, no. These values I want to insert into this table, okay. Now while I'm inserting, okay, while I'm inserting, why I have specified question mark is, so here I'm not hard coding, okay. So this table has three columns, that's why three question marks I have given, and whatever the values I passed from parameter, no, so that values will come and sit here. Okay, we'll come and push here. Okay, those values, I want those values to be inserted here, okay, in place of question marks. Okay, so we have specified question marks, that's okay. Okay, but here we have created our parameters, and while I am inserting, I am specifying these question marks, that is okay. But how we can interlink? How we can interlink these parameters to your task? Okay, so for that purpose, you can go to this parameter mapping. So here you can see we can interlink those parameters to our task like this. Okay, let me click on add. Here you can see when I click on add, so in this section you can see what are the parameters we have declared. No, all those parameters can be seen here. Okay, so since we have three question marks, no, since we have three columns, we have given three question marks, and here also let us go and add. Okay, three more parameters, and this is for second one is for employee name, and we have declared one more salary. Okay, so we have declared three parameters, and we are assigning this here. Okay, now we have three question marks, we have three parameters, that is okay. Okay, but what is the position of these parameters? Okay, so which value I need to pass it for first question mark, which value I need to pass it for second question mark, and which value I need to pass it for third question mark. So here in this table, first column is employed, okay, first column is employed, so this employee I need to pass it for first question mark. No, here we have to define that location. Okay, so the index position will start with 0. Okay, the index position will start with 0. So here 0 means this value, okay, employee whatever the value present in this parameter will go and set it for first question mark, index position 0. And my employee name, okay, if I give it as 1, it will go and set it for second question mark. And employee 2, it will go and salary, it will go and sit for third question mark. And employee name, so here you can see the direction is input, that is okay. Data type, so employee is of integer data type, so either long or int or numeric, anything is okay. You can see, so we can select numeric, okay, long, okay, and we can have some integer also. Float, okay, float also is okay. If you are dealing with decimal points, you can see integer also is okay. Okay, or long, okay, or long integer. And for employee name, it is a varchar data type, no, so we will have n varchar and we have varchar, you can select. And salary, it can be long or long integer. Okay, so that's it. We have we have declared three question marks. Okay, for these three question marks, I am passing value present in these three parameters, and this is the position. This is for first question mark, second, third, and this is the valid data types. Okay, so we have one more thing called parameter size is there. So you can go and specify employee name of varchar 20. We can go and specify. If you leave it as -1 means max. Okay, how much is the bigger the name, it will take all that max value. -1 means max. Okay, varchar of max is there, no, like that. That's it. Okay, so I have created some C parameters and I want to pass those values while inserting the data instead of hard coding it. Now let us go and execute this. So before that, let us go and check in our database. Okay, so let me connect our database db underscore Abhishek. Okay, now let us go and see whether the table is already created or not. So let us go for select star from table underscore params. Okay, now you can see the table is not yet existed. Now let us go and execute our package. In order to execute, let me click on this play button. Okay, F or F5. Now you can see we are able to insert the data, and now let us see whether it has taken the parameter values or not. So now you can see it has taken the parameter value. Okay, so like this, for any purpose, okay, if you want to assign some parameters to your package, you can go and assign it here. Okay, so these parameters I have declared under the third package. Okay, right now we have multiple packages, no? So now you can see these params, okay, these parameters I have declared in the third package, that is params underscore package. Now can I access these parameter values from the second package or from the first package? Now let us see. Okay, so I have declared it under the params package, that is the third one. Okay, now I want to access those params from the first package. Is this allowed or not? Now you can see, let me go and open Vanitas, and here also we have the parameter mapping section. Now let me click on add. Now is those parameters are showing up here? Now you can see those parameters are not showing up here. Okay, so whatever the parameters I have declared, okay, whatever the parameters I have declared here, okay, so this parameter scope is limited to the current package. Okay, so this parameter scope is limited to the current package, and that's why these parameters are called as package level parameters. Okay, I can use those params only in the current package, but not from the second or but not from the other packages. Okay, no, Krishna, I want to use them. Okay, I want to declare a parameter and I want to use that value for entire solution. Okay, if I want to use that value for entire solution means all the packages in that solution, how many packages are there? From all the packages you want to use that parameter, then what we have to do is we have one section called project.params. Here you can see under the solution we have a section called project.params. Double click on it. Now create a variable, create a parameter with this name. Let us say parameter underscore global. Okay, parameter underscore global. Okay, now you can go and declare how many parameters you want. You can go and declare like that. Okay, integer value. Okay, let me save it. Now this parameter, you can use, you can call or use it from any one of the packages, from any packages. Okay, so now you can go and see I'm in the third package and I'm going to this and going for parameter mapping section along with these three parameters. So let us see, I was able to see the project parameter, that is p underscore global. Okay, I can access it from the third package. Now let me see when I go to the first package and let us see whether I can access it from here. Click on add. Now here you can see I was able to access it from the any package, first package also. Okay, so these parameters are called as project level parameters. Okay, we have two types of params. One is package level and project level. Package level is those are limited to the particular package only. Project level is we can access it from the entire project packages. Okay, understood? Okay, so that is about parameters. Okay, now similarly, if you are executing any store procedure, you know about store procedure, no? So you know about store procedure in SQL side. Okay, so if your store procedure has parameter values as params, okay, so for those parameters you can pass the values from this parameter section. Okay, like this. Now let us go for next section, that is event handler section. Okay, so that is event handler section. Now what is this event handler is? It's like a trigger in SQL Server. Okay. So if you want to fire any, okay, if you want to execute any task or fire a task, okay, based upon any event, happened on the source package. Now let us say this is one of the package. Okay. So now, for example, let me show you. I want to execute this one. Okay. If I execute this package one more time, what will happen? So since the table is already there, so since the table params is already there, what will happen? It will throw an error. Okay. Now you can see it is throwing an error. Okay. Now what I want to do is, okay. So if the table is already present, okay, I want to do a check now. If the table is already present, I want to drop it. Okay. Before executing this task, okay, what my package has to do is, if the table is already present in this database, I need to drop the table. Okay. Now let us see. So in order to do that, I will go to this event handler section. Okay. Now under this control, now you can see executable section. So it is showing my package name. Okay. Under this package, okay, if any one of these event happened, like if your package experiences any error event, any error, or any one of the task is failed, or before execution, do you want to execute any query or any task? Okay, so these are all the list of, okay, events here. Means before pre-execution, pre-validation. Validation means like whether the table is present or not, or your syntax is correct or not. Those are comes under the pre-validation. Okay. So if you any one of your task is failed, what you want to do? If your package experience an error, what you want to do? Okay. So these are all the events present in the SSIS. Now, as per my requirement, what I want to do is, under this package, we have one create table and inserting data is there. No? So I want to create event for this create table task. Okay. So under this, we have one create table. I want to create an event handler for this create table task. What I want to do is, before executing this task, that is on pre-execution, let us select this event. What you want to do is on pre-execution, okay, if the create table means if the table is already present, okay, what I want to do is I want to drop the table before executing this create table command. Okay, I want to drop the table. Okay, so that's why I have selected on this create table task. Okay, on before pre-execution, on the task pre-execution, what I want to do is I want to execute this drop table task. Okay, now let us go and connect the table is present in which database. Select that connection and write, just for example purpose, I am showing this drop table underscore params. Okay, now you can go and click on OK. Now you can go and see. So before executing this command, before executing this create table command, that is on this task we have pre-execution, that is before executing this create table, okay, it will go to this event and it will execute this task. It will drop the table and after that it will come and execute this. Okay, so now if I go and execute this, now let us go and execute. So earlier it has thrown error, no? Now you can see I was able to execute successfully. Why? Because before executing this, if you go and see under the event handler, so it has executed this drop table task. Okay, okay, and after that it has inserted the data. Okay, so now let me execute one more time. Since the table is already present now, already created, now you can see If I execute one more time, now also it will get success. Why? Because on this task we have before execution event is there, which in which we are dropping the table. Okay, like this. Okay, suppose if the table is not there, let me drop it. So let us say you are creating it first time. Okay, you are creating it first time. No, now let us go and see. So you can go and see. You can clearly say that this task is failed. Okay, why? Because there is no table called table underscore params. Okay, before pre-execution it is executing this drop table, and after that it is going and creating this table. It is going and executing this. Okay, like this. And if you don't want this also to be, if you don't want this also to be failed, okay, you don't want to get error, then what you can do is drop table. Okay, if exists. Okay, I can go and write a command like this. Let me see whether this will work out or not. Okay, now you can see drop table if exists table parameter. I think this command is working in only in 2016. Okay, so drop table exists. Okay, if exists. Okay, okay, let me go and see. So I want to drop table. Okay, okay. Hmm. So let us go and write. Okay, if object ID. Okay, if object ID of this table. So let us say table underscore params. Okay, is greater than 0. Okay, is greater than 0. Okay, then begin and end. Okay, so if this table is already present, then only it will go on. Okay, if object ID of this, okay, table params is greater than 0. So it means if object ID is greater than 0 means the table is existed. So what is this greater than 0 means? So here by writing this object ID of this one, by writing this, what you are indirectly writing is, so we have a system table called select star from sys.objects. Okay, so where name is equal to table underscore params. So by writing object ID of this, okay, by writing this object ID means this is nothing but you are executing this query. In this table we have an object ID. So right now it is not created, no. So let me go and execute this task. Right now let me go and execute this create table. So it will create a table, no. Now you can go and see. So in this sys.objects with this name, a table is created, no. So now you can see a table is created now, and what is the object ID? This is the number. Okay. So here internally we are checking object ID of this table, that is this column value is greater than 0 or not. Yes, means the table is present. Then go and drop the table. Okay, go and drop the table. So here if the table is not present, no need to go and drop it, no. So now you can go and see in this, for this create table event handler section, in this drop table task, I will write this command. Instead of writing directly drop table name, I will go and execute this command. If object ID of this table is greater than 0, then only drop this. Else, nothing. No need to do anything. Okay. Now you can go and save and execute it first time. Okay. So now the table is present. So that's why it has executed successfully. Okay. Now you can go and see in your table record. Okay. The table is present or not? Yes, the table is. Select star from table underscore params. Okay. Now the table is present. So here also you can go and see it has dropped the table successfully. Okay. Now if I execute it one more time, since the table is there, okay, since the table is there, every time the drop table command will get success. Okay. Now if the table is not there, now let me drop this table. Okay. If the table is not there, earlier this drop table command is showing me the error, no? Now let us go and see whether it will show error or not. You can see if the table is not there also, my drop table task is showing success only. Why? Because we have written this statement. If this ID greater than 0, then only drop it. Else, it won't do anything. So that's why it is saying a success. Understood? So if you want to execute any task, okay, if you want to execute any task, or if you want to fire any task, okay, on a particular event. So here event is the on pre-execution event. Okay, I want to drop the if you want to drop any temp tables or any other tables, or if you want to truncate the table data, you can go and use those tasks on pre-execution or pre-validation, on error event, all those. Okay, so that is the use of this event handler section. Any doubts? Okay, so any doubts, Rachita? Are you okay? Are you able to understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Abhishek, do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So the next one is Package Explorer. Okay. So this Package Explorer means nothing but summary section. Okay. So up to now, what we have done in this package. Okay. So that is called a summary section. No? Now you can see if I go to the first package. Okay, we have done so many things. We have created some 1 2 3 4 5 6 executables. Okay, and in the data flow section, okay, so we have taken some union all and all those things, but we don't have event handlers and parameters, no? So if you want, you can go and create one parameter. Okay, param underscore empid. So let us say some 100. Okay, I have created some parameter. Okay, now if I want, you can go and create on this create table. If I go for is, let us see. So I'm creating the table underscore emp underscore data one. No, now let us go and see. Okay, on this first package or create table event handler. So on pre-execution. Okay, so I want to drop the table. Okay, or I want to truncate the table data, but whichever you want. Okay, so let us say truncate table data. So we are creating some event here also. Okay, so where the table is present under the DB Abhishek. Now what you want to do? I just want to delete or truncate the table data. Truncate table. Okay, table name table underscore emp underscore data one. Okay, like this. So now I have created one event handler also. Now if I go to this package explorer, you can see all those is in this package explorer is nothing but a it gives summary section of your package. Now my package name is first underscore package. So how many connections we have created? So we have created one Excel, one database connection, and one text file. So in this you can see under the connection managers we have 3 connections. That is what it is showing here. Okay, and how many executable files? So in the control flow, how many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have create table, drop table, insert data, recreate table, update table, and data flow task. Under this data flow task, we can go and see. So we have used a flat file source, a Excel source, and OLEDB destination, and we have used the union all transformation, and we have used the data conversion thing. So all these 5 we have used under this components. Okay, like this. Now, how many parameters? Do we have any parameters? Now you can go and see we have one parameter. And how many precedence constraint means these links. So one failure 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5. We have 5 precedence constraints. Now you can go and see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we have any event handlers? Okay, for create table we have an event handler. No, so you can go and see for create table, do we have any event handler? Yes, I have one pre-execution event handler is there. Okay, so it will show all those information. Okay, so like this. Okay, so this is about the package explorer section, and we have one more thing called connection manager section. So whatever the connections you are creating here, all those connections will be shown here. All those connections will be shown here, and if you want to create a new connection from this section, you can still do that. Okay, so if you want to create a new connection from this section, you can go and right click on it, and now you can see these are all the frequently okay used connections. So now we have different type of connections here. So one is OLDB connection, that is OLDB means object linking enabled okay database connection. Okay, if you want to connect to your SQL table, you can use this OLDB connection. Okay, and you can see here you can go and click on this OLDB connection. Once you select this, it will allow us go to the new. You can see, so it is using this OLDB provider to connect to our SQL server. Okay, so using this OLDB provider, I can connect to my SQL server. So my server name is Balaji underscore PC, okay, hyphen PC, and whichever database you want to connect. So if you want to connect any other database, you can go and create a connection like this. So now you can say I have created a connection to the DB Mohan, but by using the OLEDB provider, object linking enabled database provider. Suppose we have one more connection called ADO.NET connection is there. Okay, so using this provider, ADO.NET provider also, I can connect to the SQL server table. ADO means active database object. Okay, ADO means active database object, and if you are referring your data from the .NET applications, okay, so any .NET application is there and you are pushing the data from .NET application to SQL server table and you want to create a connection, we can use this ADO.NET connection. So using this, only the provider difference, using this ADO also I can connect to my SQL table, okay, but here using different provider, that is ADO.NET. So now you can see we are using the .NET providers to connect to my SQL server, and here you can go and use the same Balaji underscore hyphen PC, and you can connect to our any database. Only the provider difference is, earlier it is OLDB provider, Now it is .NET provided. Okay, so you can see some icon difference also is there. Okay, now you can see if you want to connect to any flat file, you can go and use this. If you want to create a connection to the cube databases, you can use this. Okay, and these are all frequently used. Apart from these connections, do you still want to connect to any other sources? Okay, now you can see these are all frequently used, and apart from this, you want to connect to any other data source. You can click on this new connection and it will show you so the list of connections allowed. Now you can see from these different sources I can fetch the data. I can fetch the data from mailbox. SMTP is for server mailbox, send mail task. This is for your Outlook mails. If you want to fetch the data from your Outlook or you want to create a connection to the Outlook mailbox, you can go for this. ODBC is like open database source. Okay, open database connection, and you can see we have Excel file, cache file. Okay, and if you want to connect the data from any cloud database, okay, any web URL, you can go and use this HTTP connection. Okay, so these are all the different sources, okay, from where I can fetch the data. Okay, those are all the different types of source connections we can create. That is about the connection manager section. Okay, first of all it will show the list of connections we have used, and apart from that, if you want to create any new connections, that also you can do. Okay, so we have one more called variable section is there. Suppose if you want for temporary storage of data, so in SQL server also we can declare some variables and we can assign some data temporarily, so here also if you want to assign, if you want to store, okay, any values for temporary purpose, okay, or any intermediate values or any temporary values, or you want to hold some today's date. Okay, so usually you can go and see if I want to create a variable. So first of all you have to click on this rubber kind of icon. Okay, if you want to add a variable, you can go and add a variable. Now this variable scope is limited to the first package. This scope is limited to the entire package. My package name is first underscore package. And let us say if you want to store any data, okay, any variable, so we'll be discussing all those things in our future classes, how to use and when to use these variables. But for example purpose, suppose if you want to hold the today's date, let me give the variable name as v underscore today underscore date. Okay, and what type of data you want to store? I want to store some date value. No, you can see we have one date. Okay, and we can go and see I want to show today date. No, can go and see I can use this get date. Okay, evaluate expression, so which will show you the current date and the time. Click on. Okay, so now this today's date value I can store it in this variable. Like that, any value we can store it for temporary purpose under these variables. Okay, like this. Okay, now under this package explorer we can see that variable information also. Now you can see under this variable section, okay, you can see that our v underscore user created variable also is there here. Okay, like this. Okay, so these are all the initial package properties. Okay, so we have control flow, data flow, parameter, event handler, package, and if you want to show the results, you can go and see that. Along with that, we have these connection managers and variables. Now you can see we have one more icon called toolbox icon. So here you can see in the sidebar some toolbox is coming. Sometimes, okay, what will happen is, so this toolbox won't be visible here. Usually it should visible, but sometimes if that is closed, now from where you have to fetch it? Okay, from where you need to fetch it? You don't need to go and search all these options. Okay, you don't need to go and search. You can just click on this icon. Now you can see you can just click on this icon Now the toolbox is coming here. Okay, like this. So this is about the introduction sessions of SSIS. Okay, these are all the initial tabs present for an SSIS package. And from tomorrow class, we will start our actual classes. So data flow task, what is the inside the data flow task? Okay, how many transformations are there? We will start one by one. Okay,
Okay, sir.
stop now. We will come up.